built for this network, for the strong, not the weak.
No escaping this. 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 No escaping this.
No one's ready to deal with us.
No escaping this. No escaping this. No escape.
No one's ready to deal with us.
No escaping this. No escaping this. No escape.
No one's ready to deal with us.
No escaping this. No escaping this. No escape.
No one's ready to deal with us.
You are listening to the End of the Bench podcast on Built for This Network, hosted by my man HRap.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on what time it is when you're watching this that is appropriate. This is HRap of Built for This Network. This is the End of the Bench podcast. I am here it's Thursday. Let's just start there. It's Thursday. That means it's time for another episode of the End of the Bench podcast, Build and Destroy, our panel discussion, where I have several good people, good friends, talk about specific issues on a weekly basis. You can participate by logging in to Spreaker.com, creating a profile using your Facebook, or you can come to YouTube, The End of the Bench, THAENDOFDABENCH. Subscribe, share, use the notification bell, and you will be introduced to me every time I go live. Either way, it is going to be a pleasure to do this because I have good people. Let's start off first. My homegirl, Sin. She's in the building. Thank you, Sin. It's always good to see you. And then I got my man Rated Kev, as usual. He's here on a weekly basis. He graces the screen with us. And I got Charlotte. And hopefully we're going to make a difference in your life, make you think, do something. You know, we're going to make it real easy for everybody. I mean, you got me looking crazy, sounding crazy, doing crazy stuff. But I think we're going to do all right this evening. Now, the panel discussion this evening, what are the biggest issues facing the black community in 2021? We have people who I think are in tune with the community. I think we are well-rounded, we're thought-provoking, and we're considerate of others. Therefore, this panel is perfect for this conversation. Now, what we're going to do is make it real easy. We're going to start off with the title of the show. What are the issues facing the black community today? And I want everybody to give me 3 to 5 issues, and then we can move forward. I'm just going to go clockwise, saying Charlotte, Rated Kev, and then I might say something, Nobody really want to hear me. They hear me on Tuesdays.
So, thinking about this question a couple of days now, the biggest issues with the black community, the biggest one, to me, is not investing in ourselves, not investing in assets, always dealing with and purchasing
those hit hard. That was hard. Anybody want to comment on Sin's comments, or they just want we can proceed and then we can go back and yeah, that's what we do. Everybody go through and then we'll return. Charlotte.
I totally agree with Sin. I have to think about 3 to 5 though. That's a lot. The one that really troubles me the most though is the fact that we're just being killed and like it's okay. Not saying that that's not a historical problem, but I know it has happened throughout history, but it was like once Donald Trump became president, it was like a free pass. Like police officers, even people like Kyle Rittenhouse, right, who's on trial right now in Wisconsin, went up there with a weapon, an assault weapon, literally murdered 2 people on camera. And it's okay, you know, it's just crazy to me. So definitely the fact that we're just being murdered out in the open, it's like open season, and I totally agree with Sam with the no unity. The fact that we're so split apart and so divided, I feel like now, you know, COVID opened up my eyes to a lot of things. We always know that life is short, but that just really drove it home about how we need to focus on our family and the importance of one another. And so I feel like an urgency, like more now than ever, that we need to come together as a people in order to move us all forward. So to me, those are the 2 things that just scream out at me.
I love it. I love it. Rated Kev. This is going to be interesting.
Well, the ladies left me one of my lists, and Charlotte, I thought you were going to steal it, but you didn't. I think one of the biggest issues with our community is education. Not having our history taught to us, not understanding where we came from, and I think that doesn't allow us to see where we can go because we don't know where we've been, right? They said, Mike said, not knowing our work. She said that one. You said that one, Sid? Yes. Oh, okay.
No, you're fine, Kev. Sin.
Okay. Anyway,
My bad.
yeah, so not knowing our worth, not knowing exactly how much we carry this country in so many facets. Not only our dollar, right, the money that we spend, but also our creativity, the way, you know, just, I mean, come on, man, our ancestors built this country on their backs. You know what I'm saying? So, just not understanding our worth and our value in so many facets. You can't just nail it down to one. And I guess the third would be allowing the propaganda to put all the things back on us and relieving them from any blame, right? It's always, you know, if they did this, if they did that, you know, things would get better, you know? And so just allowing them to put the blame on us and not taking their own responsibility for what they have done. I think that's what one of the issues with our community. We don't recognize, you know, we ain't the bad guys. They are. So.
Well, what I'm going to do is just take a piece of everybody's, and I think those are the best answers I've ever heard in my life in regards to what's going on in the community. There isn't the education piece. People always think education is school. Well, personally, I believe the education piece is exactly what each one of y'all said. It's this bird. It's an African bird. It's called a Sankofa bird. And it is a bird facing this way. It's from the profile. It's facing this way with his head turned that way with an egg in his mouth. The egg represents where you came from. And then the bird is moving in the other direction. That's where you're going. And it basically the way it was explained to me, if you don't know what you went through, where you come from, you ain't going to know what you're going to deal with. And as you stated and Charlotte stated, look, everybody said this. Look, if we don't pay attention, if we don't educate ourselves on the past, we will continue to repeat the same problems that we've run into for the last 55 years. Ever since they let us vote, we just said, forget it, man, we cool. They're going to fight our fights, and nobody's going to fight our fights. And then technically they're right. It is our fault because we keep laying down and allowing everything to happen around us. Charlotte mentioned the violence. And this is a national thing. Over the last few years, Chicago has been murder central. We creeping back up because we were down to 450, 500. Today, as of today, well, actually 3 days ago, it's 632. 632 murders in the city of Chicago. So that means people are not seeing the value in each other. Not just us, but since we're talking about us, especially us, because we're underserved, we don't have the same opportunities. And if you don't have no hope, this, like me and my main man James Reed, dude I grew up with, we were talking about, we never realized how important that Jesse Jackson thing, keep hope alive, was until you look around the city of Chicago and then impoverished underserved communities and see no hope. If there's no hope, you'll kill somebody because I ain't got nothing to deal with. I'm gonna go to jail. Life might be better for some people in jail. You might be warm. You're gonna get fed, and you're gonna be in an environment that's controlled. Even if it's controlled by the gangs, it's controlled. It's rules. A lot of people, the recidivism rate is high, is because people are institutionalized. Because when you in there, hey, my man Premier P, penitentiary rules are in effect. That means respect everything and everybody around you. Out here, we don't have penitentiary rules. You don't respect anything or anyone around you. So, it's just that whole situation, man. And then when you realize, as you stated, when you realize, you and Sam mentioned the financial part. When you realize you built something, you realize you're capable of, quote Marcus Messiah Garvey. What Africans have done, Africans can do. So if we can build this country, they can build it on our backs for free. And then we can build, since everybody loved this term, ever since people found out about Juneteenth, Black Wall Street, that's the big thing now. If we could do that 100 years ago, just imagine what you could do today. You could do, hey, how about this? Everybody got a phone bill right now? Switch over your carrier to Figgers Phone, Figgers phones. That is a cell phone that is high tech. And it's on its own network, and it's a brother, 38-year-old brother created it. Nobody's complaining about it. Nationwide coverage. Just imagine if we all 50 million of us switch to Figgers. He'd be forced to hire some of us because then you got to get texts. See, we don't realize this. At one point, we bought our food from each other. We bought our clothing from each other. We made clothing. People, like all this money. Me and you were talking earlier. All this money we spent on these brands. Hey, it used to be a situation to where and actually high fashion is fashion that only you can have. So if it costs $700 to buy a pair of jeans, how many pairs of jeans would you get with $700 of fabric? If I went to Rated Care, man, make me $700 worth of jeans, you'd be up for the next 6 months making me jeans because I ain't need 85 pair, Kev. I just needed 12. But that same $700 we spent on other people's stuff. So y'all, I totally agree with everybody. Reinvesting, information, safety, loving yourself, and if you love yourself, you'll love somebody else, which will create that whole penitentiary rules in effect. Then it'll be black community rules in effect. Because then you'll respect everybody in the black community, and they will respect you back. And then you won't have to worry about it. Because, like, Kev, you come from a small town, but me, Seneca, and Charlotte from Chicago, we remember times when gang banging was insane. But the hardest hard rock, see your mama coming down the street, he hiding his weed, he hiding his cigarette, And hey, hold my square, man. And he would carry your mama groceries to the crib. Now he might, when your mama in the house, he come back outside and shooting somebody. But your mama wasn't gonna get hurt. Your grandmama wasn't gonna get hurt. Your aunt wasn't gonna get hurt. Hey, man, it's this saying on the west side, like everybody on the west side, if I don't know where it is, we all got some crazy ass uncle, right? And if you mess with that crazy uncle's sister, the crazy uncle's niece friend, and she went and told my uncle crazy, and he would say this one thing, and y'all can figure it out. It'll be context clues. He'll say, "Hey, go get that, goddammit," and he would go handle that dude who was harassing those two girls. And the next time somebody did that, he might not finish him. But the next time somebody see that girl and her friend walking down the street, hey, don't mess with them. Crazy Joe over there. That's Crazy Joe niece, and that's her friend. So that's how that's how we got to start reinventing this situation. So I totally agree with everything y'all said, because those are really, in my opinion. And if anybody in the chat room feels different or want to add something to it, you can, and I'll read it and we'll move forward. But I definitely believe all those things that y'all said that we've all inculcated into the conversation. I think that's exactly what's going on. That's what that's what's going on and what we need to do. Now, as I just mentioned, and it's funny that I said it, and it might, even though they're my questions, it seems like I'll just put it right in there. And maybe I did subconsciously. I'm cool like that. Production, live. But we commonly speak about what happened back in the day. I'm going to go Kev, Charlotte, Seneca. What would you like to bring back from back in the day? Because we've left that stuff. It seemed like around 85, all that. It was a butcher knife in 85. We cut us from 1965 on back. From 1985 on back to Reconstruction. And we left a whole lot of stuff. What's some of that stuff that we need to bring back? Kev, Charlotte, then Seneca.
Well, man, that's a lot. So somehow we need to, and I think it's already begun. We need to prepare the family. We need more two-family households. We shouldn't have the norm being one family household, because the value of having that balance, the caring, loving, in most cases, of the mother, right? Yet the strict structure of the father, learning responsibility, learning discipline. Some of our kids today don't have that balance. I think it's because they're raised by one side, either by a father or by a mother, and they're missing the other side. And so I think just like the family structure, and getting back to the community raising us, and not just a singular person, even if it's not a family. You mentioned one time when you showed, man, you do something down the street, and before you get home, you done got 2 slaps. Because everybody in the neighborhood have permission to, slap you upside your head when you've done something wrong, right? By the time you get home, I'm good. I learned about that. So just that sense of community, sense of having that true structure at home. And I want to repeat, I think it's coming back. I think the family structure is starting to come back. I see, so especially, I think we're recognizing that there was a concerted effort to separate our families, with the welfare system, the justice system was designed to get the male out of the home, So I think we're recognizing that as a community. I feel we are. Maybe I'm just being optimistic, but I think that started to repair itself, But I think that's one of the biggest things we need to bring back, those 2 things.
Charlotte?
I completely agree with Raider Kev, and we also touched on this before. I just feel like that love is lost. We used to say one love, one family, I think we need to bring that back. Seneca also mentioned making that conscious effort, just family, getting together. Like we had mentioned before, right? Family dinners. Maybe Medea's not here anymore. Okay, well, then somebody else pick up, that lead and make sure we come back together because I think it was 2 weeks ago, my aunt celebrated her 76th birthday, and my cousin Jada threw a surprise party for her. And it was a miserable day. I'm telling you, it was raining. It was in her backyard. She had a tent up, but we were out there freezing. But the minute I got in the company of all those people, our family, I immediately felt comfortable. I wasn't worried about the temperature anymore. I just was happy being in their company. They were sharing stories about my aunt that I didn't get to see because a lot of them were her coworkers. He was also an educator for many years, and so hearing how she was in the classroom and in the school really touched me because she had everybody's respect. But it was just that togetherness. Like it was like my whole body just went, and it touched my soul. And it wasn't my birthday, it wasn't my party, but just being in that company, in that gathering, and everybody celebrating my aunt, it just touched me and just made me so happy that I was there. And I feel like we need a lot more of that. I feel like that will go a long way in healing us. I feel like we need a lot of healing. I feel like we're hurt, we're angry, we're disillusioned. We keep getting beat down, and I feel like we need something like a balm, for our soul. And I feel like the more we can come together, and it can be baby steps. Maybe it can't be every Sunday. Hey, at least once a month, let's get together. Let's really say, okay, this is going to be our time, and nothing and no one is going to come between us and this time together, because we really need that. I feel like we need to go back to that connection. And that ties in a little bit with what Kev said and what we've said in the past about one. That's the key word. We have to be one. And we have to make a conscious effort to do that with all the craziness in the world and schedules and jobs. And, it's so easy to make excuses and to fall back on that. But we really have to make a conscious effort to come together and be one.
No problem with me. No argument for me. Sin.
Yeah, I have to agree with both of them. We definitely need the Black family unit. We definitely need to get together as family, and we got to go back to each one teach one. We got to take the time to teach each other stuff so we can develop and grow, learn how to get through those hurts, those pains, those mistakes from the past where we got divided. We got somebody older who can say, hey, this happened before, let me show you this, or let me show you how to do this. Or just even the older Black man on the block who might be fixing the car. Come here, young boy, let me show you how to do this. We need all that. Other than that, we're not gonna never heal. We're gonna always be moving in different directions and not being focused and getting nowhere. It's not gonna happen. And I hate to say it, I would love to see it again, but we so far away from it. I don't see how we can ever really get it back. We don't have enough people in our communities to say, come here, youngster. Let me tell you this. Let me show you this. Let me tell you whatever. We don't have that. And I do see where younger people, black couples are getting married and reforming that family unit. But outside of that, where we need the community as a whole, we just don't have it.
Well, I agree. Again, I agree with everybody. And all I would like to do is give you two examples of what you guys are talking about. Shreveport, Louisiana, it's called Dad's Working. About 6 weeks ago, Shreveport, Louisiana. Now, let me go all the way back. The statistics, national statistics, the statistics nationally show out of every 100 students in school, Black people are suspended 121 days. Boys are suspended 125 days. Girls are suspended 170 days. Now, these just black people. Black, and then they always throw in brown, and no problem with that, but that's not my issue right now. I'm trying to heal my young brothers and sisters. So, until I get my family fixed, I can't worry about them. I got love for our Latino brothers because we need to unite with them. We do. But right now, I'm focusing on this. Now, fast forward to Shreveport, Louisiana, and they show this video of these young brothers and sisters. They fighting, they wilding out, man, and it was wild. And I'm gonna be honest, I've been a part of those fights. I've watched some of those fights, and it's like, it took me back. But what they did with this group of it wasn't young. It was a group of men start coming up to the school, and since then, not one fight. And these young people said something that I've been saying to our sisters and brothers on the air, and I've been saying to people in interaction. These kids will respond to you if you talk to them. I used to drive Uber, and I have had people in my car who you would be scared to walk down the street with. And I'll be listening to one of my shows, just critiquing my work. And they'd be like, who is that? And I was like, wow, you like this? And we'll start talking. And I start telling them doing exactly what Seneca said. Look here, young blood, this is what it is, this is what it is not, whatever. And not one of them. Like one time, this young brother got in my car smelling like weed. And I say, my man, you think I'm gonna be able to earn some money after you get out? My fault, big homie. He didn't give me zero pushback. Not one, man, I wasn't thinking. And we just I said, don't worry about it, man. I sprayed the car down with Lysol. We kept talking. And these dads are at the school every day. And like I was about to say, this is one young lady, she stood out, they interviewing kids, and she said, they asked her, why you think this works? And they got the dads laughing and joking with the kids. And she said, why you think this works? She was like, the look. And they was like, the look. She said, maybe y'all don't know about it, but it's a look. And when they give you the look, that means stand down. And everybody on this screen, everybody who listening, well, most people who listening, they know what the look is. And like you said, you mentioned it, I mentioned it before, but Miss Page, she can give me that look. My man Big Illinois mama could give me that look. My man Pat mama could give me that look. My man Phil Wardenberry daddy could give me that look. Tran Brown mama could give me that look. And it was stand down. Laree Daniel Faye was one of my favorite radio personalities. She said she was in Brooklyn, these kids clowning on the L. And everybody get to calling 911. She said it was like 25 of them. Young people that they never saw before. She said all the women on the platform, all the sisters on the platform just looked at each other and went right into action. Hey! Ooh! And the kids, they struck out. So if we have to stop assuming that these kids are so wild and crazy, they gonna get you if you step up. Because I remember getting on the bus one morning, and these kids were cutting up. And again, I was that kid on the back of the bus acting a damn fool. But we used to, I never act a fool in the morning because we was too tired. We was like, oh God, I don't want to go to school. But these kids acting a fool 8 o'clock in the morning. They were using profanity and acting a fool. There's a bunch of elders on there. And I don't know how it came out, but I was like, hey man, y'all don't see all these damn grown people on the train? Stop all that cussing. And they just stopped cussing. And then I heard one of them say, he crazy. But then they ain't say nothing else until it was time for and then they got off the train and they went right back into action. So these young people don't mind discipline. Think about, if you're from an urban area, and this probably happened with Rated Care, all the hard rocks, everybody who thought they was tough, you ever notice the toughest teacher in school had everybody respect? I'm talking about, I know dudes who carry knives and guns, but they respected Mr. Payne, Mr. Butler, punk ass Mr. Payton. Yeah, I said that. I'm still mad. 1985. I'm still mad. Yep. Mr. Payton, if you watching, your mama. But but seriously, but the toughest teachers, man, Mr. Calloway, they all got respect. Nobody disrespected them, and they was in your face. So I don't think things have changed that much, but it is, as all three of y'all missed, that structure is missing. You know, don't holler at my kid. This my kid. Because that kid going to either hang out with my grandkid, niece, or nephew. So your kid is my kid. You know, so it is what it is. So I totally agree, man. If you notice, these are different questions. But the answers keep being the exact same. It comes right back to us. Us. And people can say what they want to say and pretend, oh man, these kids, see, it ain't like this. Yeah, it is like this. Because, hey, stop being scared to speak and don't speak because you're scared. How you doing, young man? And he'll be, because I sent out some videos so a lot of people I know where this young man was aggressive. He was beating the hell out this little boy in the class. But even though that was horrible, do y'all? I know I sent it to Charlotte and Kev. I don't know if I sent it to you, Sam. And the white teacher was standing there scared to death. But if you notice, the little boy said, "Move, Miss Such and Such, because I'm whooping his ass." And until she moved, he didn't move. He kept following the little boy around, menacing the little boy. But as long as that authority figure was there, even though she wasn't cognizant of it, when she removed herself, the little boy got whooped. But he said, "No, I'm whooping him. And you ain't going to be able to stop me." And the little boy beat him up, but he didn't throw one punch as long as that authority figure was there. That means he understands what's going on. But nobody's standing there to talk to him and stop him. And if you're not going to be there to stop him, don't stand around and complain and point the finger and say, see, that's what's wrong with these kids. What's wrong with these kids is you a pump and you ain't going to say nothing to them, and then that make everybody look crazy. With that being said, Sister 2Q said, salute to my Sister 2Q. She in the building. It's always good to see you. You can say anything to these kids today. The parents have that mindset, don't say anything to my child. Well, what we going to start doing 2Q is this. Well, keep your damn kids away from mine. If I can't tell your kid, like, I'm telling you, you come over here, if I when I have some grandkids, your grandkids over with my grandkids, if I can't tell your grandkids, sit your ass there. Don't bring them over here. And I'm going to tell my kids, I better not see you, no offense, 2Q, I better not see you over there with 2Q kids either. They off limits. You go play with the gangbangers. Don't play with them. Because if everybody if everybody not part of the structural balance, then your kid gonna be ostracized. And guess what? I guarantee you, your kid, I don't care what you allow your kid to do. I bet you, if your kid see all other kids fall in line, he gonna fall in line. He gonna fall in line. So I feel you, 2Q, but we got to be on it. We got to be on it. Love is the key of life. Things that are made right. Why can't we be one? I'll never know. Love is the key this time, and there's no doubt in my mind. You really want to be loved. Love is the key. That's 2Q again. She killing it. She murdering the game. Thank you for the participation. Anybody else got anything to share? Feel free. Now, another thing that we always complaining about in our community is, man, we need more. They need another Dr. King. They need another this, and they need another Malcolm X, and they need to bring the Black Panthers back. Question: do we need a leader? Do we need do we need another NAACP to step up, or do we need to just get our damn act together? Seneca, Charlotte, ready to care.
We need to get our act together. I mean, it was good at a starting point, but all of these years later, and we still got people that's here now that's supposed to be leaders who really ain't leading us nowhere. We need to get it together. You our people. And as I said at the beginning of the show, we need to start investing in assets and not liabilities. And that's the only way we're going to get somewhere. We got to teach each other. You know, I was just talking to my son and his friend before the show started, like, I'm going to need y'all to quit going and buy Jordans. You know what I'm saying? My nephew, he went and got diamonds put in his teeth. I'm like, that looks nice, but you a damn fool. I'm like, you could be investing in a building. Like, what are you doing? You know, like, if somebody had told me this 25 years ago, then I would be way more ahead than what I am now. Nobody told me. And, you know, and that's our problem as a people. We like to keep shit a secret. You know, let me tell you how I got on a legit way so we can all get on. You know, so yeah, we don't need another Malcolm X or another Dr. King. We just need to lead. You know, take control of our lives and lead.
And I apologize. That was my man Doc who said that. And he said that was "Love Is the Key" by Frankie Beverly and Mays. And it was sounding very familiar when I was like, damn, that sounds familiar. But then I did such a poor job reading because I need some damn glasses. The words are this small. But anyway. But I didn't want to cheat my man Doc out his credit. And 2Q said some families only get together after somebody dies, which is horrific and sad and true. Charlotte, the floor is yours.
I'm sorry, I'm listening, and I totally agree with Seneca. My 21-year-old daughter she's also listening in the background, and she just wanted to comment on what Sen just said about the Jordans and the diamonds. And she said she learned something powerful herself, that our people buy those things because we don't know our own worth. You know, unless we have those things, which goes back to what Raider Cat says, right? That we need to know our own worth instead of putting all of our value in those things that we spend our dollars on that are not in the right place either, right? Because the other meme is, yeah, I have on these $400 shoes, but the apartment I live in is crap, right? I don't own anything of my own other than these shoes or this Gucci belt or whatever else, you know, the kids put their value in nowadays. But going back to your question, Brian, I don't think we need one leader or two leaders. I think we need to be the leaders. Kind of piggybacking on what Seneca said, we need to be the leaders. And I teach my students that all the time. You know, don't be a follower, you be the leader. You be the one to stand up and do what's right. Even if nobody's following you, you need to do that. So that's what I say about our community as a whole. I think we put too much worth on people we put on a pedestal, and then when they fall off the pedestal, we're left with no leader, right? We're crushed. We don't know what to do. We don't know what direction to go in because we put all the value on that one or two people who are in those roles. And we had a discussion too about the NAACP. Just because they say they're representing us, there's no one leader or one organization that can possibly represent all of us, right? Because we're all different as well. And they may not have our best interests at heart, which goes back to some other conversations we had. Just because you're my color doesn't mean that you're me or that you are for me. So I think that's my opinion.
Kev?
Yeah, I totally agree. And you know, one leader isn't, or even if you say a few leaders, right? It's not the route to go. And I don't mean to be graphic or you know. We see in the past what happened when we put all our faith and energy into a few leaders, right? What they will do if that
totally agree. I'm gonna address my sister 2Q. 2Q, you're right. Some people don't want to be teached, but that's worldwide. You're gonna have people with ignorant ass points of ignorant ass mindsets. No matter what you try to do, we could all sit here as a collective group who watching the show, and we say we gonna order a pizza, and it's gonna. I don't want pizza. I want some chicken. Somebody gonna do that. It's always gonna be an outlier. What I believe as a community we need to do is let those people be on the outside because they're always gonna be there. They should be used as mirrors. When they act a fool, well, I don't want to do that, and then we just hold up the mirror to the rest of the people. You see this, right? This is it. This is why we struggling, and then we gonna move this way because, as I showed y'all over the last 3 weeks, less than 10% of the entire United States population are drug addicts and alcoholics. Less than 10% of the entire population in the black community, less than 5% of the black community is incarcerated. Now, that's just a lot of people. You think 5% of 55 million is a lot. So you thinking, oh my God, all these drug addicts, no. But see, what you got to do is say, you look at your family. At this point, more than likely, there's a drug addict, there's an alcoholic, there's this person who's been incarcerated in your family. Count up those people, then count up the rest of your family. I bet you it's only about 5% or less. It might be 3 or 4 people in your entire family of all the people you know that have had an issue socially. So we can't focus on, we can want to save them, but we can't focus on them because there's far more people doing right. And guess what? When we get together, all that positive energy will pull those people in or push their ass away. And that's all we got to do. In regards to everything that y'all said, I would just like to add this. I think we need both. The reason I think we need both is this. You need a tip to every arrow. Every arrow has a tip. And it's the tip that does the damage. Some of us have personalities of foot soldiers. All we can do is march. Yeah, we're going to bag Malcolm X. We're going to bag Martin King. We're going to bag the Black Panther. But we have to galvanize so those people, to give those people power. And then you got the colonel, you got the corporals, the privates, the sergeants, the lieutenants, the captains. And that's the hierarchy that we never take a time to build. We had Malcolm X. We had Dr. King. And everybody who followed their ideology. Guess what we didn't have? Malcolm X Jr. Malcolm X III. We have that. So what we could do is take a peek at what we know as the Nation of Islam. You had the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he groomed Malcolm X. And Malcolm X groomed was my man, the late great Khalid Muhammad. And he groomed Khalid Muhammad, and he groomed the most honorable Louis Farrakhan. They already put their leadership in place. If he get hurt, we got these two. If one of them get hurt, it was always somebody in place, and it still is to that day. That's what we have to do. We look at these organizations, the Urban League, the NAACP. We used to have a student nonviolent committee. What is SNCC? It was SNCC. I can't think of the words in SNCC, but the Student Nonviolent Committee Coalition or something like that. And that was Dr. King's crew. And then Malcolm X created a group, but he didn't set up the structure yet. We need people. The reason we need leadership is, in leadership, you will have somebody who can immobilize, meaning get everybody together. And you got somebody who can organize. And that means create the structure and basically the platforms that'll help us succeed. And then it brings the group together and it inspires the next group of leaders. One thing I see that's wrong with our community is this. We never prepare. You know what? I'm 65 years old. Rady Kev is 40. I need to be teaching Rady Kev this. And Rady Kev need to find somebody who's 25 so he can teach them what I'm teaching him. And then it's a continuum. We put everything on Jesse Jackson because, okay, Jesse Jackson is in poor health right now. Who's going to be leading the Rainbow Coalition when Jesse transitions? Because it's inevitable. We all on the same path. Who's going to be running the Rainbow Coalition when the great Reverend Jackson is gone? Who's going to be running the Action Network when Reverend Al is gone? We got to prepare the second person. To me, that's been the biggest problem. These organizations have been awesome. They've done what they could do. Whether they could do more. And you did? Okay. Well, Cayete pendejo. So, that means shut up, stupid. But there it is. If we don't do what we have to do, it don't make a difference what we gonna do, because we have to support the on point teachers like Charlotte. We got the on point elders like Sin, you, and I, and everybody in between. And everybody is in between. That's it. That's it, and that's all. Now, the next question. This is gonna be a hard one. Kev, Charlotte, Seneca. What are your honest opinions on reparations?
Okay. Well, just to touch on something you mentioned earlier about the numbers when you talk about percentages, and people need to think about the numbers and how they relate to, the amount of people we have or the amount of people that's affected. That's done on purpose. Because if you say a million people is on something or a million people is doing something in your mind, that's a lot. But if it's 100 million of it, it's not that bad. So that's done on purpose. That's part of the propaganda. Reparations. Okay. It's a complicated question because aren't we gonna? Well, let me go with it like this. I'm not really concerned about reparations, so to speak. I just want to be left alone. I want instead of you paying me, right, and saying, okay, I paid you, go on your way, and we done with it. Don't ask for nothing else. Okay. What I want is to stop the propaganda, stop the concerted effort to keep us down. That's reparations that I want. Because if you stay out of my way, I will succeed. You know what I'm saying? So, and plus, I don't think I'll never get reparations. So that's why I don't want to ask for it, because I know I'll never get it, right? So I want you to stay out of my way, because we have shown as a nation, as a black nation, and that's what I feel we are, as our black nation, right? We can succeed if we don't have the propaganda that's always telling us that we can't succeed. If we don't have the marketing of wasting our money on Jordans and all other nonsense to value our wealth, right? If those efforts are removed out of our path, right? Whatever reparations that whatever pennies you're gonna give us, right? I'll earn that and create that tenfold, and it'll be mine. No one has to give me nothing. So that's why my energy isn't in reparations. I know a lot of people are gonna disagree with that, but my energy isn't in reparations. My energy isn't give me what you owe me, because I already know it's not gonna happen. And there's another reason why. Maybe we'll get to it later on, but I just want you out of my way. Stay out of my way and let me grow. Give me the same opportunity. I didn't want the same opportunities you give other folks. I don't want that white privilege. I just want to have the privilege of growing organically in my neighborhood, my family, my children. I want them to have the freedom to grow, to learn the truth. I mean, just give me the freedom, the true freedom. And I'll make my own reparations. So that's my opinion.
Charlotte?
Once again, I strongly agree with Raider Cap. I feel like reparations is just another carrot, another thing that's out there, right? Like we're just waiting for that big one, the lotto, right? Like I feel like there are too many things tied to it, too many things that are gonna continue to hold us down. I think instead of waiting around for someone to give us something, that, as Kev said, we can do so much better on our own if you literally leave us alone. Don't, get threatened when you see our success. Just literally just back away. just feel like sometimes, waiting around for that reparation handout is just that. You're just waiting for another handout, and time is passing, and you're just letting time continue to pass, and it's just a big waste. And I feel like we need to move away from that, move away from expecting anything from this system that has enslaved us and still keeping us down to this day. I think we need complete liberation, and yeah, just stop meddling with us. Just leave us alone.
Sin.
My answer is completely different than both of y'all. I definitely understand the question, but I want my 40 million in my mule. I'm just gonna keep it 100. My people suffered. We still suffering from the result of that. I'm definitely not waiting on it. If I was, I wouldn't have anything. You know what I'm saying? But I want it. No, it probably will never happen, but I do want it. We deserve it. Yes, because they have did everything in their power and beyond to keep us down. But I also feel like the only people that's really keeping us down is us. At this point, the rest of it is an excuse. You know what I'm saying? You can go out here and get whatever money you want to get, own whatever you want to own, do whatever it is you want to do. But I do any country to do it. You don't have to sit here and deal with it. And let's be honest, when is the only thing anything has ever really changed in our country? When was anybody ever really liberated? When the colonizers liberated themselves from the British. And how did they do that? So we're not finna do that. We're not finna go to war. We're not finna, to get real liberation. So that'll never happen. But as far as reparations, if they gonna hand it out, I want it. I'll take it.
Me and Sin on the left side of the screen, and we on the same page. Ready Kev knew that was coming. I'm with her. I need my 40 million in the mule. I'm with her. Hey, first of all, that's the next question. I ain't gonna get into that. But yeah, I totally understand where y'all coming from. But and I'm not saying that we need to sit. Yeah, man, give us all. No, I ain't saying that. But if we say, man, I ain't worried about it. Nah. See, it's just like when you get paid today, you think about 2 weeks from now, my whole fucking check might be there, So that's how I'm looking at it. Yeah, I got my paycheck today, but I'm on salary, so that means that next check better not bounce. And that's the way me and Sin looking at it. Like, we ain't finna stake our whole future on this thing now. We not going, oh man, no, I gotta get my 40 acres. I got, but man, I need my 40, and not the 40 ounce, and not the $40. If y'all know what I'm talking about, for those who know what I'm talking about. But I need it. I don't think we put enough energy into it. But then again, that's because I personally believe we're not civically minded enough. We don't engage civically enough. We don't put Seneca, Charlotte, and Ray Kev as the mayor, the state representative, and the alderman or congressman, state senator, U.S. senator, congressman. We keep putting this rich dude who trying to get richer, who doing all this insider trading to get richer. Because please explain to me why Nancy Pelosi, a politician, and she worked for almost $200 million. You know why? Because she was invested in Pfizer and all that stuff before the pandemic went live. So, see, it's that type of stuff. So we got to look, like I keep saying, you got a little argument of niece and nephew, talk them into being a politician. You got a Captain Save 'em Doe, little niece and nephew, talk them into being a military person and a cop, but also keep them community minded so when they can use all those skills, as Brady Kev said on the show Tuesday, to teach, and as y'all said today, teach the youth, teach the people around you. If we're not civically minded, reparations will never come about. And if we're not civically minded, we'll continue to paddle in this boat. We're treading water at that point. We're just treading water, and we're gonna continue to suffer. My man Big Illinois said I'm all for reparation, but I'm not doing anything strange for some shit. But yeah, Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Big Illinois, my man. One more question about reparations. Now we all said we deserve them. Charlotte and the Kev, they on the back burner. Me and Sin, we got the heat turned up on the first pot on the stove on the left where you used to keep the gravy at. That's reparation. We're gonna keep the gravy last, but we cook the rest of the meal. How would you like to see them issue Seneca, Charlotte, Kev?
If it was to be reparations, I guess just give it to them at one time. People gonna do what they do with their money anyway. You would hope that we didn't came far enough where we know, or that say, hey, we need to invest this. Let's get it together, put it all together, go back country, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, give it to them at one time. Let them do what they gonna do. You pray that they do what needs to be done, but the reality of it is just like all the people that got the PPP loan this past summer, and what they do with the money. I know one person out of probably 20 or maybe 2 out of 20 who actually got a business who started a business and is going. So I guess we need to first educate people on how to use the money the right way. They're going to do what they want to do, but use it the right way, and just give it to them. Don't issue it out. I don't want to keep waiting for it. Just give me one big lump sum, whatever.
Charlotte?
I agree with Sen, but I think we talked about this a few weeks ago. I think everybody should get their own lump sum. Like Raider Kev has said, if that means $40 million for me, $40 million for my daughter, $40 million for whoever in our household, let's take it and let's go. Yeah, it's one lump sum. I don't want any more strings attached to anything. So, go and done. That's it.
You give me 40 million, you better not give me no passport. Ready, Kev.
Okay, so let's assume that see, you almost had me a few weeks ago when you explained, it's not just you get money.
Oh yeah. Now that was a listener. That was a listener's question.
Right. So you almost had it, right? So, but the thing, I guess the best way to answer is for my knowledge of how reparations are given I'm giving my answer to countries, right? The United Nations would never push for reparations to ever come about. I see you shaking your head, so I'm wrong?
No, I'm agreed. I'm like, hell no, they won't.
So the United Nations is not going to push a country to grant reparations to individuals. They're only going to push to grant mistreated, whatever it is, right, to a nation. So in order for us to get reparations, right, we would have to create a nation, right? And we don't have to move somewhere. Be a nation inside of a nation. Nation of Chicago, nation of
Yeah. To expound on what Kev was talking about, that ideal has been around for a long time. Dr. York, the Wabi Nation down there in Louisiana, where Kev is from. It's been going on for a long time. The most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, he talked about these things too, and as he stated, every time you talk about, you get taken out. And that's because, nobody's really want to do this reparation thing with us. You got the Japanese people, they got reparations because they were put in containment camps during at the end of WW2. And you got the indigenous people, they got reparations, obviously, because of what was done, obviously, to them. But see, what we don't realize in regards to reparations, if they give brothers and sisters in America reparations, that means every country in the world got to give up reparations. See, we always think of reparations as a American thing, and it is an American thing, but it's both Americas, North and South America, Central America, the Caribbean, because all them dog faces were brought over here. That's the biggest albatross. But in regards to obtaining reparations, because
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, go.
Can I piggyback off that? With what you're saying with every country in the world, think about the number of Africans that died, the 25 million that died trying to come across.
Yes. Speak on it.
Go back to Africa. Everything, all the money, everybody's money got to go back blood into Africa.
Yeah.
That's all I ask.
That's what. Yeah. And that's the. See, that people think, they just don't want to give us the money. No. The moment you say I'm wrong, everybody wrong. It's just like a qualified immunity. Qualified immunity is only upheld. Well, you can tear it down when there's, I think it's called direct law. When you can show that the law goes directly to that. If we've prosecuted somebody for that in the past, then qualified immunity falls off, and that person is getting attacked. Derek Chauvin is a brother from Senegal who shot that white lady from New Zealand. Killed her. They gave him 13 years. So that's why Derek Chauvin in jail. That's why he was prosecuted. Well, because if a police officer, if you can show a direct path and a direct law, it's a chain reaction. Then you can get Chauvin. Had that brother had he not gone to jail for killing that white woman, Derek Chauvin be home right now. So that's how that qualified immunity thing goes. But that's a whole other conversation. I want to see reparations, and because most of us, as we stated, y'all believe you Charlotte and Big Illinois, y'all the happy people. Y'all believe 45-50% of the people, if they got reparations, we were saying, if you get $35 million, everybody got $35 million. If you took the $35 million, you had to go, and y'all was like about 40% of the people. I think less than 5% of the people would leave. And okay, since most people are not gonna leave, that our blood is in this land. We built this. We belong here. Okay, cool. I don't only want it in money though. I don't want to never pay no taxes again. I want some land. And if you mess with me, you got a problem. Because that's what the indigenous people got. And guess what? We're indigenous to this land. Because guess what? Y'all created us here. Like, we came over here as Africans. And some of us were captured who were already here. That's the part that nobody really talk about. But we were already here and were captured and converted. So you mixed us in, add several 100,000, maybe several million rapes. Ta-da! That's why we look like the rainbow. Some of us black as Wesley Snipes. Some of us light as Julian Bond. And we everything in between. So y'all created us here. So we're indigenous to this land. So that's like you paying rent in your house. So I want that. I want free education. And I said that purposely. I want some free education. If you are part of this situation, you and your children and your grandchildren's children need to be going to school free. And I want that free like they gave the original people to the land. I want, if we find out you're 12%, you get 12% off. No, I want all mine off. Everything is free. So that money, land, no taxes, get out my face. And that's how I want it. That's just me though, but I think it goes like that. I think we more productive that way because since you just want to act like, oh man, I ain't do this to you, well, so why I gotta pay? You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay. But me either. Me either. I ain't paying either. And like Ray Care say, now get the hell out of my face. I don't want none of that. No, I won't be your friend because guess what? You ain't got to act. If you really want to be somebody's friend, you ain't nobody who's listening to these words coming out of my mouth or the words that come out of your mouth ever asked y'all to be y'all friend. You just came together. I got your back. You got my back. We friends. We know who our friends are. We know who our enemies are. We know who the people who are opposing. Like the dude running for governor in Virginia. Remember, 4 years ago, the dude who's governor now, they dug up a picture from 20 years ago and saw him in blackface at a party. He need to get rid of him. And some black people that was there, they was like, man, y'all business. It's a good dude. It wasn't this, we wasn't looking at blackface the way we looking at it now 20 years ago. He was probably trying to have a good time. A lot of people listen to me, oh, HRap, you selling out. Drop dead Fred. But guess what he turned around and did? He turned around and electorally freed millions of our brothers and sisters and brown people and indigenous people. You know how he freed them? If you've been in jail, you can vote now in Virginia. That's freedom. Because guess what? He knew those people was going to vote for him when they got in. And that's part of the dream. Don't tell me, like y'all heard me talk about this before, don't incarcerate me and then, well, you got the felony for the rest of your life. No. And I'm not singing this dude's praises or anything, but one thing I like about what he did, the Supreme Court of Virginia said, well, you just can't do that with one pen. You got to sign all these papers, and then they can do it. You know that man said at his desk, 20,000 signatures. 20,000 signatures. So is he our friend or ally? Only time will tell. But just imagine if you got him out the way, those people who got their voting rights back wouldn't have them back right now because the dude you put in would be like, hey, that ain't my fight. Back to business. Just like it's the dude who run it against them. They put up this thing about critical race theory. They had this lady, my son is so scared. Her son 27. Her son is 27. We have to be focused, we have to be galvanized, and we have to understand what we up against in order to win. I've been saying it for the last 3 weeks. We got to learn the rules to win, not learn the rules to play the game. I don't want to play the game, I want to win. Ain't no good losses. And it really in life, for real, y'all, I don't believe in losses in life. Either you don't lose, man, this is a setback. No, it ain't. Life don't give you setbacks. You either stand still or you move forward. We've been standing still since Dr. King passed, in my opinion. They turned his dream and sicked it on us like a wild pit bull. They made us believe I have the right to go to Marshall Fields. I have the right to go to Gimbel's, Dillard's, and Macy's. You need to go there. We don't need to go there, but if I want to go there, I can. But I don't understand why we was fighting to go give away our money. Man, you going to take my money. I'm going to get up and go to a job that I hate, which I started on the 7th. Me and Seneca used to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and go to a job we hated. And listen to some of the dumbest people in the history of the world talk to us. And man, look, just a brief preview of just how brainwashed as a community we are. During this period, this baseball player dropped out of high school. He dropped out of high school to get drafted into Major League Baseball and signed a $60 million deal. Me and Seneca, the only people in the office, like, shit, I wish my son played baseball. The rest of them was like, no, he need to go to school and go to college. Are you outside? We captured. So that's what I'm saying. We fighting to give away our money. Seneca just said, we got to stop doing this frivolous stuff. You got on, I almost said Sassoon G. You got on, you can wear some, Levi's still cool, man. Forget what y'all talking about. Levi's still look good. I'm just telling you. Levi's still look good. polo shirt, t-shirt. Look, I'm killing it right now in a blank t-shirt. It's still cool, you know. So $700 pair of jeans, boy, I wouldn't give a damn if I would have hit the Powerball tonight. You couldn't go buy me a $700 pair of jeans. Are these called $700? Oh, you got a gift receipt too? These are looking a little tight. And then when you see me, I'm gonna have on some Levi's and I'm gonna have $650 with me. Cause I don't need no $700 pair of jeans. Where do I wear $700 pair of jeans at? To the supermarket? You know what I'm saying? No, get out of here. So yeah, that's just me. Reparations, I ain't paying no more taxes. I want all my money. I want some free stuff. I want to learn for free. Or tell y'all what, since y'all don't want us around y'all people and our allies over here and we over here, tell y'all what. Don't come over here to our school and y'all fund our schools and we'll structure them the way we need to be. We need to learn about the indigenous folks. We need to learn about the people y'all stole this land from. Even the people across the board, y'all stole it from them too. California used to be Mexico. How you gonna tell the Mexicans to get out? You in my house talking about get out. No. Okay, last question of the night. Sorry I went on that rant, but that was just one of those things that I really love to talk about. Y'all give me closing thoughts along with answering this question. When you see us in 10 years, Seneca, Charlotte, Kev, and then the wrap up.
Where I would like to see us at in 10 years
That's what it should have been. I'm sorry.
is in a better political position. Definitely us not killing each other like we're killing each other. And furthering our agenda and actually putting a manifesto together to get that agenda together so we can move forward. In 10 years, I would like to see just us in a better position, and we can get there, but we definitely got to put the word out and try to get people to buy on, because that's what it is. We got to get people to buy on for what we need for ourselves.
Charlotte? Love it.
I agree with Sen. I think we touched on it earlier too. We got to take those baby steps to just come together. We need to stop the division. We need to stop buying into the propaganda and all the things that they've been feeding us. And we just really need to do it. We need to be civically minded, like you said. And we just need to come together and do it. So we've already seen some changes in the family unit. We need to strengthen that and bring the extended family back together again. And I feel like that's the key again, the education, right? Raider Kev always teaches us that we got to start in our own homes with our own families because that's key. And I put all my heart and soul into my job of teaching because I truly believe, and I tell my students this all the time, that they are the key to our future. But, they look to us for leadership and guidance, so we need to get off our butts and not just wait for them either. We need to do our part too, to show them and guide them. And I feel like I would like to see us in 10 years be even stronger than we were back in the 70s and 80s as a people.
Ready to care.
Kind of got caught off guard. Forgot about this question. But as the ladies was talking, I was thinking about it, and this is something I've been thinking about, and I'm gonna kind of go off the range for a second, then we'll tell her really back in. So I think right now we see a concerted effort of just put it out there, right? White people are
That's what's up, man. I want to say shout out to that racist who just came in. We made it. Because he said his name was extremely anti-Semitic, and he was very disrespectful to anybody who's free thinking when you do stuff like that. But that if the biggest watching, we made it. We making a difference. That's all I got to say. But where I see us in 10 years, where I would like to see us in 10 years, that's what I should have said. I would like to see us revert back 100 years. We would get in the Wayback Machine like on Mr. Peabody and Simon or whatever his name was, and get in the Wayback Machine and have the mindset of our elders and ancestors from Reconstruction. America can only be great if each one of its communities is great. And seeing how, for whatever reason, it's been propagandized that we are not worth being great, and we are not worth the energy that we put out, then okay, not a problem. Again, 100 years ago, we had allies. 100 years ago, there were other communities working with us. But guess what? 100 years ago, you had a sister by the name of Madam C.J. Walker, a sister by the name of Addie Malone. Hey, no shout out to my man LeBron James. Still love you, brother, but that was a horrible depiction of Addie Malone in that Madam C.J. Walker movie. I want to slap you down for that, but I'm not. But Addie Malone was an honorable, beautiful sister, and they made her look like a petulant, hating woman, and I didn't like that because she was super dope. But that's neither here nor there. But I want us to revert back to that. When you watch movies like Hound the Hall, when you watch movies like Exterminate the Brutes, when you watch documentaries about all these things that was going on in the past, you realize, like the little clips that I put up on my Tuesday shows, you realize you had in 1890s, you had a dude doing open heart surgery. He was a black man. And the dude lived an additional 20 years after they did open heart surgery more than 130 years ago. You got people creating things. We have to get back to that. And when we get back to that, we're unstoppable. But see, as the sister said, in the midst of the George Floyd uprising and things of that nature, making a noise say, who invited Remy from Higher Learning? But he's blocked now, and he's blocked on all platforms: Twitch, Instagram, Twitch, here as well as Twitter. So he blocked everywhere. I never see him again. But once you realize, again, man, most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, what Africans have done, Africans can do. And if you're saying you ain't African, that means you've never opened up a book and looked. It was this one lady named Addie. She was the first person they ever found, and she was in Southern Africa. So we all that. So you can pretend that you're not. I'm not this. Hey, well, guess what? If you can get kissed by the sun, it's a great chance. You have come from us. And us, we don't have no issues. And like the sister said, in the midst of the George Floyd uprising, we don't want revenge. We just want to be treated fair. So what we have to do is, instead of taking it back to the 60s and the 70s, unless we're going to talk about the 1860s and 70s and reconstruct our entire existence. But this time, we don't have to stop. We could just do us. And the people who are with us, they are with us. The people who are against us, as the young people say, kick rocks. I ain't got time to hate you. I ain't gonna be loving on you. I ain't even gonna be thinking about it. Like today, me and Ray the Kev, I had what I perceive as a revelation. People always say you gotta forgive people. It ain't for them, it's for you. But it is for them. Because if you've put me in a position to whereas I never want to speak to you again, you might be a toxic person. So I can forgive you, but you can no longer have access to me. Ever. If I saw you stranded on the side of the road, I might throw $50 out the window and keep going. Hope your battery good. Call Uber. But I ain't gonna hate you. I ain't got none of that. But I believe we need to get back to the aughts, as they said, the 1900s. Because contrary to popular belief, in the 1900s in America, a lot of our people were doing okay. We were creating. We were unified. We were in love with ourselves. Hey, man, do yourself a favor. It's 2 documentaries I want y'all to watch. My Mother's Garden and High on the Hall. And y'all will see exactly what I'm talking about. Or do yourself a favor and watch the forecast on Monday, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. But if you can't do that, if you do that, then you turn to High on the Hall, you're going to be like, man, those dudes, y'all going to salute us. But for real, if we really want, in the next 10 years, I want us to be exactly where we are in the 1900s. Ownership of property, ownership of businesses, unity, pride, and success on the horizon. We walking towards success. We don't have to integrate with people who don't want to integrate with us. Again, as I said earlier in the show, you have never asked anybody to be your friend. They became your friend because they did right by you, and you did right by them. So I'm not asking for no more help. Either you gonna walk up to me and say, hey, yo, Rap, let me help you. Or, that's cool too. Whatever happens after that is cool. But as a person of our community, I'm not looking for no more help. I ain't trying to find no friends. Yeah, I'm gonna get some. Just like Adolf Hitler's little brother just slid on him, like Big Illinois said, Remy from a High Learner, he slid on in here. There's some good people out there that's just sliding on in too. I got my man, I'll tell y'all some good people. J. Ron and let me see. I can't think of it, I can't pull him up right now. Frank Morgan. I almost called him Morgan, but Frank a good brother. It's a bunch of dudes. That's why I tell y'all, man, I live on Twitter. Charlotte see me. I like Twitter way more than I like Facebook, and the reason is I can express my opinions on Facebook, on Twitter, and people can disagree, but they don't be disagreeable. Contrary to popular belief, they're not combative. When your friends, when you post, I just got there, and, oh man, what about? Shut up. I post one thing positive every day on Facebook. I post one thing positive every day on Facebook. I have 76,000 tweets. So, see the difference? I've never said, man, I'm sick of this Twitter stuff. I did almost have a panic attack in July of 2020 because I kept reading negativity about the COVID. See the difference? Chuck D follows me on Twitter. See the type of people I'm interacting with? I know some dummies on Facebook. So, yeah, some of my friends dumb as hell. So, yeah. Y'all knew I was going to say that too. But with that being said, man, I want to thank everybody who helped me make this show a success as usual. Seneca, you are always welcome. Charlotte's always welcome. Kev is always welcome. And if you want to get at me, reach out to me. You can be part of the panel. I want different. We don't need an echo chamber. We just need different opinions. Hopefully, you can share this with a friend, and they can bring them in. They can share it with a friend. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. Tell a friend to tune in every week on Thursday at 6 p.m. Every week on Tuesday at 6 p.m. and every week at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. BS3 Network and Roku TV. The forecast. We killing it. We representing. We reviewing documentaries, docuseries, and movies that impact our community in our unique way. It's fun, it's engaging, it's informative, and I hope that's what this is too. Fun, engaging, and informative. With that being said, it's your man HRap. I want to salute the people who give me the inspiration to continue on my podcast path. That is my man Lamont King. Everything's Funny podcast. The Ghetto Boys, Tariq Nasheed, Nori, Talib Kweli, Ray Grady, Zoe Williams, Corey Holcomb, Craig Smith, Al Sharp, Heather B, Clay Kane, the one and only illustrious Larry Daniel Favors, the Elder Joe, the Black Eagle Madison, the informative, the intelligent, the engaging Dr. Greg Carr, and the Queen Mother herself, Professor Karen Hunter. I want to thank everybody for tuning in again. Read the screen. Please hit the like, subscribe, and share buttons. and then hit that little bell for notification. I need everybody to do it. Don't wait for me to send you the link. Hit subscribe and do it now. Subscribe. Go to the bell. Hit all every time I come on, because there's a couple people that I'm trying to interview. They're not going to be on Tuesday because they can't get Tuesday. They can't get Tuesdays free. So they're not going to be on Tuesday. So I'm going to interview them. And then I might just pop up on a Saturday. I got Muhammad Ali. That'd be a hell of an interview from the grave. Shit. I'm going to see if I get Malcolm X too then. No, but see if I get Jesus on here. No, I'm just playing. But I'm gonna be doing people all over because they don't have my schedule. And since I'm about to go back into slavery, I might not have my schedule. But that's another conversation. But thank you guys again, and y'all know how I salute the Podfather, Reggie O'Shea, aka Combat Jack, by using the way he ended his shows by saying, "Dream your dreams and man up and woman up and live your dreams. It's life without dreams flows in black and white. Life with dreams flows in technicolor and surround sound." And y'all already know. If I owe you something, salute to Craig Smith. If I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
We are built for this network, for the strong, not the weak.